Boom shakalaka, Bitcoin hash rate is back up to all-time highs, and yet despite that, people are still extremely fearful. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some very exciting charts and discovering exactly what's going on with Bitcoin and why you should be a lot more bullish. Plus, if you stay tuned until the end, I'm going to go over how to find the next Avalanche, Solana, or Fantom. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're talking about what's going on with Bitcoin, why it's actually looking a lot more bullish than the market would suggest. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also come join us over on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. Also, if you stay tuned until the very end to help with the YouTube analytics, I'm going to go over how to find the next Solana, Avalanche, or Fantom. So you definitely want to stay tuned until that. Now, to begin with, the market pretty much sideways since yesterday, not moving up, not moving down. And if we take a look, Bitcoin at $41,935, Ethereum at $31.26, BNB at $470, Cardano at $136, Solana at also $136, but hundreds of dollars instead of single dollars, XRP at 74 cents, and Terra at 81.50. I still told you guys to buy it at $69 because it's such an awesome number, and who knew that was the bottom. Now, if we take a look today, Bitcoin hash rate back up to all-time highs. This means Bitcoin network more secure than ever before. Not only that, but Willy Woo has posited many times that price follows hash rate, or sometimes hash rate follows price. Whichever, it's like the chicken and the egg, whichever came first. You have a chicken and an egg laying next to each other in bed, smoking cigarettes, saying, well, I guess that answers that question. But all right, thank you guys so much for still watching the video despite my amazing jokes. Well, as we see in the market right now, extreme fear, 24. Now 24, yesterday 24, last week 21, last month 27. So people are still very, very fearful. Why? Because a year ago, last January of 2021, guess what? Bitcoin was $40,000, same price, and yet people were greedy at like 90%. So what happened? Why is it fearful now? Well, let's take a look. If we take a look here, it seems like Bitcoin is actually pretty darn correlated to the Chinese stock market. Now, you can maybe see here in this gray, the S&P 500, this just continues to go up. Not very correlated to Bitcoin price. But if we take a look at the Shanghai, we can see right here, we had a peak in Bitcoin and the Shanghai. Then we had a bit of a drop, Bitcoin and Shanghai. Then we had another peak run up for Bitcoin and Shanghai, and then kind of price coming back down for Bitcoin and Shanghai. Then a giant run up for Bitcoin and Shanghai, and then just kind of range bound for the past year. Surprising correlation between Bitcoin and Shanghai. I wonder if this will continue despite Bitcoin not really being in China anymore, all of them having to sell off. However, the good news is they had to sell it all off by December 31st, so a lot of the sell pressure is gone. As a matter of fact, if we take a look right now at the liveliness ratio, guess what? Liveliness has fallen back to the peak of the previous cycle, indicating steep hodling behavior. So when liveliness increases, which is this orange thing, it means there's more spending. When it decreases, it means there's more hodling. So you can see over the past few months, there has been more hodling. But not only that, look at the liveliness. Peaked here back in January 2018. Peaked here in January 2019. Peaked here in July 2019. And then if we take a look, it broke through there January 2021 when Bitcoin hit $40,000 for the first time. Could potentially be coming back down, find it as support because it was resistance, 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 could potentially be support here at 40,000 in January of 2022. As a matter of fact, Plan C is saying he's not sure why the narrative of a lengthened version of 2013 is not more popular. If we take a look at the entity adjusted Knuckle, because everybody loves Knuckles, you know, today 0.39 Knuckle. We're not even close to crossing the 0.25 level, which has triggered the last three true bear markets. We can see the bear market here when it broke through the 0.25, bear market here when it broke through the 0.25, bear market here when it broke through the 0.25. We're not even close. We're still at 0.39, well above that zone. And as a matter of fact, if we take a look at another chart, Bitcoin Rainbow Price Chart, historically, we really haven't had bear markets until it gets into the darker green, lighter blue, the accumulate to buy area. Those are the real bear markets. The rest of it is just kind of like either sideways or, you know, bullish descending. So we still have a way to go. We're still cheap, not yet accumulate buy, basically a fire sale. Those areas would be the true value of Bitcoin, which would also generally be bear market indicators. Which brings us to this chart, how tech dev sees Bitcoin impulses and corrections over the bull market cycles based on new address trends on chain. So we can see this orange line is a number of new addresses. And you can see we have increase, decrease, giant increase, okay? And so we have the first wave, the second wave, the third wave. That was the first cycle. Then we have increase, decrease, giant increase, and again, first wave, second wave, third wave. Well, this cycle so far, we had increase, decrease. We haven't had that third wave. This would be suggesting that we could have one more upward impulse, potentially a huge one, before the bear market begins. Because if we take a look at this right now, we can see that historically, when the leverage ratio goes up and the funding ratio down, we're sideways. But when the funding rate is up and the leverage ratio is down, price goes up. Well, we had leverage ratio up and funding down, price kind of came down or sideways. But guess what? We have funding rate up and leverage ratio down once again. So potentially, based on comparing the leverage ratio against funding rates, 2022 will be very bullish, as the same as late 2020 until mid 2021, which went from $17,000 to $64,000. We could potentially repeat this in 2022, which brings us to this last graph here by Master 240,000 Bitcoin, 4,000 Litecoin, whatever, Master Bitcoin Litecoin. He says he's so bullish right now. All of Twitter, even the most bullish Bitcoin bulls, are doubting. He's here to tell you that all the charts, the current cycle is playing out like an elongated 2012 to 2013 cycle. The patterns are eerily similar. If we take a look here, so these yellow triangles are selling, and the bigger they are, the more selling goes on. These blue triangles are buying, and the bigger they are, the bigger the buys. So if we take a look, we had a little bit of selling, and then we had mostly buying, and then we had tiny little bits of selling, and then some bigger buying, and a lot of heavy selling, and then just kind of small buying until we have massive selling. And it kind of formed a straight line trajectory. Now, if we fast forward to where we are right now, again, we have the small selling, and then we have some pretty big buying, and we again have some small selling until we ramp up with some big buying, until we ramp up to some pretty large selling. But then we just have kind of small buying, not as big as the buying was back down there at the bottom, as you can see, same thing in 2013, until potentially we have the top, and the straight line top will put the price roughly around $300,000, where we might have some massive selling. So if things are looking that good for Bitcoin, you got to expect Bitcoin moves pretty slow, so you want to own some other altcoins that could move faster. Now, Cardano's seen its day, Solana's seen its day, Avalanche, Fantom may have already seen their day, but wouldn't it be great to find out what the next one is? Well, guys, here's how you do it. Go over to DeFi Llama. You click on chains, and you can see the chains based on the total value locked, the market cap to total value locked, and also the protocols. And these are three very interesting things I like to look at. So first off, just looking ranked on total value locked. This gives you an idea how much people believe in the platforms, because that's how much people are willing to literally risk their own money in that platform. So we have Ethereum, we have Terra, we have Binance Smart Chain, but then some of the other big ones, Avalanche, Solana, Fantom, Polygon, already a lot of money locked in those platforms. Now, granted, they'll probably do well, but they might have already seen their day. Wouldn't it be great to find some that could be at a discount? Well, you can just start looking down this list in TVL, but there's a couple other things that you can do as well to maybe find some hidden gems. And I'm not going to pick out these hidden gems for you, because they say, give a man a fish he can eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he'll spend the rest of his days getting drunk on your boat. So, that being said, that's joke number 2 for today. So you're super lucky you stuck around till the end. But anyways, check out market cap divided by total value locked. Now, we don't want a high number, because that means that the market cap is very high and the value locked on there is not very high. But we want a low number. Now, why a low number? Well, Fantom just had a very huge run up, and it has a 0.82, one of the lowest. It's in third place. But let's take a look at some of these other projects, like XDay, like Fusion, like Karora, Waves, CeFi Chain, Kava, Sora, Tron, Moonriver. Okay? So there's some other ones you may want to take a look at. And then also just heading over to protocols. Let's see which platforms are really built out that maybe people aren't talking about yet. Well, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, Fantom, people already know those ones. But how about some of these others, like Arbitrum, like Kronos, like Hiko, like Moonriver, okay? Like Optimism. So These are some things worth taking a look at. Definitely go to DeFiLlama.com and check it out for yourself, because there's a lot of free information there. And when you have information before other people and you use it, oftentimes you can make a lot of money. So guys, if you did enjoy that, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. I will catch you guys later. Love ya. Peace.